When it comes to cooking meals, drying clothes, heating water, and my home, nothing beats natural gas from CenterPoint Energy. It's my most affordable energy option. It costs less to use than electricity, propane, and heating oil. So if you already have natural gas, keep it. If you're replacing an appliance, choose it. Natural gas, your best choice. Safe and affordable, rest assured.
For more on the benefits of a natural gas home, visit centerpointenergy.com/natural gas benefits. CenterPoint Energy, always there.
Wow. All right. Any questions?
Coach, Kentucky's coming in off a bye week. What have you seen from them now that you've had some time to prepare?
I think just a really good, solid team. You know, they play together, play hard. They've had some close ones that they've gotten out of, and that's the biggest thing. You just see guys that play hard, play together.
Coach, Chance really performed well in the time that he had in the game. Just talk about how he's progressed in practice, where you gave him that opportunity there.
I think he's gotten better and better. You know, I think that he is kind of explosive as far as, zipping the ball downfield. And, and I think that and we've got some young receivers. We're kind of excited to see what they can do. And they did some good things, too. So it was exciting to see Ra and Rufus get touchdowns, and then Ducking did some good things, and then, but yeah, I thought he looked good, and he looked similar to that in practice every day.
How different do you think this Kentucky team looks from the one you faced last year? They've changed quite a bit, especially on offense.
Different on offense, and some new faces on defense, but defensively, schematically the same. Probably a little more aggressive on offense.
Mark Stoops of Kentucky says your wide receivers are much improved from last year to this year. How have you gotten to that point? Just reps, or just being in the system longer with those guys?
Yeah, just getting older and throwing more balls. You know, everybody's caught more balls.
Coach, I noticed on the roster that linebacker Rodney Gross isn't listed anymore. I guess is he not with the program anymore?
No, he's not. Rodney's not with the team.
Mike, against Vanderbilt, I think it was 4 receivers that each had 5 or more receptions. I mean, as a coach, how good is it for you to kind of see that? And, I mean, what does it kind of mean for this offense? How important is it for that offense to be able to spread the ball around like that?
It's important that we have good distribution, and we definitely want and we had good distribution the other night, where you want all the skill positions to contribute to the offensive effort. And so that was good to see.
Coach, I know Mark Stoops at times has run some bear fronts and some odd man fronts. What did you see from them last year, and kind of what makes him such a good defensive coordinator?
They play hard. The other thing is they don't try to do too much. I mean, they're kind of basic and execute well. They kind of like to keep a shell over things. They'll blitz once in a while, but there's real sound, I guess, is the biggest way to describe it.
You held Vanderbilt to 9 yards rushing, 155 total yards, under 45 plays. How much can a performance like that energize the defense going forward?
Well, hopefully it does. Hopefully it does something, but, we need to continue the momentum there.
Coach, Woody Marks and Dylan Johnson continue to run hard for you, and they had better running lanes against Vanderbilt. What have you seen lately from Woody that has allowed him to get through that first level?
I think he's quicker and more decisive, but then I think our offensive line did a better job moving people around than they maybe have some.
Coach, Alabama brought a lot of pressure, and it seemed like Vanderbilt brought more pressure than they normally do. Do you anticipate now that Alabama has had some success with that to see more of that and less drop 8 as you kind of move forward?
Alabama kind of did what they do. Vanderbilt pressured, and Vanderbilt's kind of a pressure team, and they pressured us more than I think they have anybody else. I think the better we get up front, the more people we'll see up front trying to attend to things, and then if you move the ball effectively, they'll either pressure or drop, and then after that they'll mix it in to try to keep you off balance.
Mike, the NHL Board of Trustees voting to mandate vaccines for COVID-19 for employees at all Mississippi universities that accept federal funding. That was just news that just came out. I'm wondering if you had any thoughts on that.
I don't comment on any, the whole COVID vaccine thing bounces all over the place, and a guy can just, that'd be like commenting on each hit in a tennis match, so I don't have any comment.
Last year, the trip to Lexington, 6 interceptions in the ball game. But outside of that, it seemed like you moved the ball between the 20s, and defensively you played pretty well. Do you think that carries over and maybe gives you guys a little confidence this week to see that last year was really more about what you didn't do than maybe what you did?
I thought we played really poorly last year in that game.
What are your thoughts on Leach's progression? It seems like he's the guy who's been doing better lately.
I think he's explosive, still battles consistency. He's just got to get it all reined in, and it's sure been a long process. So the quicker we can do that, the better off we'll be.
Mike, your candy corn video went pretty viral on social media. Are you familiar with the show Ted Lasso, and have you seen the show comment on that?
I haven't. Everybody says it's a good show. Everybody says it's a good show. Everybody says you ought to watch it. It requires a little extra technology, more technology than I'm familiar with to get it. I forget where it's at and how you get it, but they say, oh, you stream it, which that just means I'm not going to watch a show on my phone. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody will instruct me, hook it up, but I heard it's good. And I am kind of surprised that video was so exciting to a number of people, but that's good. You get a lot of candy corn, some people trying to sell that,
Do you keep up with English soccer? I know you spent some time there.
Not so. I do rugby. I follow rugby. But yeah. The northern hemisphere, I like Wales, like New Zealand in the south. But all those teams are hard not to like.
What kind of challenge does Chris Rodriguez pose at Kentucky, and how much confidence do you have in the defense to match up with a running back like him?
He's good. I thought he was good last year, too. Just a good, solid player.
Coach Matt Wells was dismissed at Texas Tech today. There's been 3 coaches, I think, there in the last 12 years since you were there, and the success hasn't been nearly as good as what you were able to do. What made your term so successful there, and why hasn't that been able to be replicated, do you think?
I don't really know. I mean, we had good players, good coaches, and it was a pretty loaded up conference back then. You had Nebraska who was biting on the heels to win national championships. You had Texas and Oklahoma in the top 5 most years. You had A&M there. You had Colorado kind of roaring along then. Kansas State was really good then too. Yeah, it was an exciting conference back then.
Mike, back to the comments you made about candy corn. Do you think it deserves a second chance?
No, I do not. I do not. That's been carefully researched since I was a child, starting at approximately, I'm going to say 3. And although it did have some brighter points in my life, in particular when I was young, the type of thing where it gets all over your hands and your face. Before long, though, I realized that was a grave error, and there was far better paths ahead than candy corn. So, yeah, I have no interest. It's one of those items that, there's a reason they serve it basically once a year, because it's not very good to begin with.
Sticking with that theme, Coach, if the media showed up your house to trick or treat, you've had a love-hate relationship with some guys in the media, what would you give your favorite members of the media? What would you give your least favorite members of the media as trick or treat candy?
Oh, shoot, that's a good question. Well, the good ones, you try to, what would you give? Well, certainly something better than an apple or whatever. We used to have a dentist growing up that'd give everybody a toothbrush and his card on it. And then, yeah, he'd have a toothbrush, tell you where to find him. Let's see, definitely, something big, kind of the candy bar. You can't be as reckless as hold the bowl out like some used to when I used to trick or treat, like hold the bowl out here, take what you want, and of course then you grab handfuls as fast as you can until they shoo you off the porch. So there's, so you got to kind of regulate it, but it'd be something good. And then the ones I like less, you try to, borrow the neighbor's dog or something and try to make sure he's out patrolling the yards, when they might find their way up there.
Anything else?
All right, I appreciate it.